up to my last video. So I wanted to do a follow up to my last video about Ashlee Jenae and talk about some of the responses and also discuss the recent femicide stories that nobody is talking about because the unalivings were committed by Black men. And under my last community post about one of the most recent victims of femicide, somebody accused me of deflecting or redirecting the conversation from white men to Black men to absolve white men of accountability. And I feel like the people who accuse me of that actually don't like Black men being held accountable for femicide, because if y'all claim to care about femicide and Black women's safety and Black women being unalived by their partners, then it shouldn't be an issue with anybody shining light on other recent femicide stories that aren't being shared, because the women involved weren't influencers or public figures who were dealing with white men. All Black femicide victims deserve to have their story told because they are all important. And if those of you reporting on Ashlee and making that story go viral, if you truly believe that all men can be dangerous and that protecting Black women matters, then that standard has to be applied consistently, not just to men who don't look like you or men that you sleep with every night. I have more respect for anybody saying this is what men do, so vet them all regardless of race and find one worth being with, or be single if you don't want to risk it. That's genuine concern, especially from people who consistently say that over and over again, regardless of the femicide story and regardless of the race of man who did the unaliving. That's what genuine concern looks like. It doesn't look like absolving one group of men for their wrongdoings. But I noticed that when it comes to intra-racial femicide, it's framed as a broader issue of quote unquote male violence and, oh, that's just what men do. But with interracial femicide, it's white male violence, and it's used to fearmonger Black women out of opening up their romantic options to non-Black men. And to me, that's dangerous because it implies that Black men aren't unaliving Black women as much when they are actually doing it more. Same with high earning men, because when femicide happens in hypergamous relationships, y'all will also try to fearmonger Black women out of hypergamy. And that implies that broke men are safer than high earning men when it's low and mid earning men deleting Black women the most. Now,
hey cousins, happy Saturday. This is Chrissy. I love Chrissy. I don't listen to a lot of women when it comes to dating and marriage content. As a matter of fact, I can maybe 2, maybe 3, and Chrissy's one of those women. I don't listen to her all the time. Just ever so often when her video pops up on my YouTube, then I'll listen to her. But she's not somebody I listen to every day, every week. As a matter of fact, I can't even tell you the last video I listened to of hers. But her video popped up this morning, and I was so thankful because I'm like, yes, because we need to have this conversation, because a lot in my comments that I excuse me, cousins, excuse me, allergy season, girl, that I did in reference to Justin Fairfax. There are men in my comments, and I've seen in other videos where they're talking about, oh, he went to Colombia and he's high earning, but he unalived her, as if to say more high earning Black men unalive their wives. Like, yeah, this is why you should be with the broke man, the Pookie, and the Ray Rays. Yeah, this is right. These are the things I was told. I was told that the high earning man, the well-educated man, the men that worked in boardrooms and corporate, those are the men that's going to abuse you and unalive you, as if broke everyday men do not abuse and unalive their wives. We see that story happen recently with Pastor Tammy, and it's just gone. Like, nobody is talking about her anymore. Nobody talked about her average earning husband who unalived her, right? This woman, vice mayor of Coral Springs, nobody is talking about how she was unalived by her average earning man. Yeah, he was in radiology, and they said, but he was making decent money. But what is that training like? 6 weeks? I mean, how long does it take for you to get your radiology, how to do radiology? You know what I mean? But we shine this huge light on successful, especially successful Black men, and the Black man that's angry that Black women date Black white men has this huge conversation about, oh, see, master done unalive you, the colonizer done unalive you. But where is the conversation for Pastor Tammy and Vice Mayor Nancy. Not that there weren't conversations, but it was like one day. It was like one day. Like, where are those bigger conversations? So thank God Chrissy popped up. I should have thought about her. Chrissy popped up in my algorithm this morning, and I was like, yes, I am going to do a reaction to her video. I'm going on her channel to give her a donation, and I added a little bit of music, speed it up a little bit so there's no issue. So I want you to listen carefully, and let's have a conversation. In the comments, the wife here in New Jersey that was unalived by her ex-husband trying to get away from him, baby daddy or something. So if we really care about Black women, right? If we really care about Black women, we need to have all the conversations about Black women being unalived by Black men, not just when he's a high earning Black man or just when it's a white man unaliving a Black woman. Do y'all understand? Because Black men and Black people like to tell Black women that, yeah, the high earning, Columbia educated, successful Black man is not good for you. He's going to unalive you. The white man who a Black woman is dating is not good for you because he's going to unalive you. But we don't hear about the average Black man unaliving his Black woman. And just like Chrissy said, which is what I said, all men are the same. All men are the same. You just need to carefully vet each and every man. Because at the end of the day, a man is a man. Black, white, Asian, Hebrew, Jewish, Hindu. At the end of the day, they have a ding-a-ling and they have male instincts. So what are we to do is to vet them properly and act accordingly. Now, this man, Justin, and we're going to come back and do a video where there's 2 Black male psychologists talking about him. Not that making excuses for him, right? We do need to have that conversation about Black male and mental health, because we know it's a fact that Black men don't go to the doctors. They're getting better. It is a fact that most Black men do not seek mental health help. And we need to have those conversations, right? Like, we're my girlfriends, we're going through, girl, I'm going through. At least you're talking about it and you're getting it out, and we can go with it. Anyway, shout out to Chrissy. I love her. She's one of the only women I listen to in marriage and dating. She is a divester. I have no problems with Black women dating white men. Again, vet them, date accordingly. At the end of the day, a man is a man. You just have to vet him properly and then pay attention, even when you're married. Now we see, even when we are married, that we are going to have to pay attention to what our husbands are dealing with. Though this couple, Justin and Dr. Serena, yes, we need to say her name, Dr. Serena Fairfax, they were separated and going through a divorce. And so, it's a little bit different when you're separated going through a divorce. You're not having those heart-to-heart conversations. You're not touching, you're not hugging, you're laying in bed and, like my husband would say, can I hold you? If I'm all the way over here on the other side, he's over there. He's like, can I hold you? You know what I mean? So we're going to come back and we're going to have a deeper conversation about Dr. Serena Fairfax and Justin Fairfax. But today, I want us to have a conversation about how we shine the light. We shine all these lights on successful Black men, but we don't shine the light on the everyday average Black man who is unaliving Black women at a higher rate. So be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share this out, leave a comment for me. This might be the only video I do today, but I'm not sure. So let me know what you had to say. Shout out to Christy. I absolutely love her. I just love her so much. She's like my sister in my head. So let me know what you all think about what Christy's saying.
We can definitely talk about the unequal power dynamics that come with dating high earning men and white men as well, but there is no shortage of those conversations happening online. The interracial dating and hypergamy warnings are literally being beat into Black women's heads every single day. You can literally find thousands of videos online warning Black women of all the dangers of dating white men and dating high earning men and how they're so harmful and unsafe for women, but there's not actually enough focus on the type of relationships that women, and especially Black women, are suffering from the most. And that's why I'm here, because I am not about to let y'all just skip over that and pretend that
right. Let's talk about those conversations. The story, it says the story Black people ignore and they're fake. So African American 46. So we really need, while all women can experience intimate partner violence, women of color are often more likely to be victims than their peers. Okay.
Black women's biggest threat are white men and or high earning men, when the statistics just do not support that. And since y'all are not having an honest conversation about this, it's the perfect time to talk about the most common type of femicide, because this topic is going viral. Most of the Black women getting unalived by their partners are not public figures or soft life influencers like Ashlee. Many are not escorts or S-workers or divestors, and they still got unalived. Most are not with rich men or white men. They weren't online criticizing Black men or claiming that white men are better, which Ashlee did not do, by the way. That's a claim people are making based on her tweets that were taken out of context. And I talked about that in my last video, so check it out if you haven't already. And most Black women who date interracially or encourage Black women to date out or date up, we're not saying that white men or high earning men are perfect and have no flaws. That's literally something y'all made up because you hate seeing Black women with other races of men, and y'all also hate when Black women have standards and want to date or marry hypergamously. So that's
right. A lot of Black people, I'm gonna just jump in to avoid any copyright strike information issues. A lot of Black men and Black people on a whole do not like to see Black women have standards and date hypergamy. So I am in a hypergamous marriage. My husband is high earning. I'll be retiring very soon. He pays all of our bills. I don't have to worry or stress about anything. And so while I knew that's what I always wanted, because that's what I read in the Bible, I was discouraged against it by average Black people because they couldn't see that for themselves. Like I remember my Black supervisor who was married to a felon. She told me, when I told her what I wanted, because all the boys were interested in me, the young men were interested in me, and I was like, And she said, "Girl, you better go on down to the Green Mile and get in line and get you one of the male men coming out of jails." That's what she told me. As a 21-year-old Rutgers University college student, this is what my Black supervisor told me. That what I wanted was, girl, you crazy? That's out of this world. And I had a baby at 16. And I don't even look at that, girl. Those men are not good. Those are the men that abuse you and kill you. Go on down to the jail and get one of the men that's coming out of jail. That's what she told me. Of course, we're not friends. I stopped talking to her maybe a year or two after that, because I realized that she hated me. She hated me, and she was jealous of me. And I hate to say women are jealous of me, but she hated me because why? As a young woman in college, why would you want me to go to the jail and get a man coming out of jail? Why? Like, what was the purpose? Because she hated me. Okay, mammies like Iyanla, they hate young Black women that have high standards and our right to choose. They hate that. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Really the underlying issue with that. But to circle back to the point I was making, most Black women who are victims of femicide were either dating or married to low to average earning men who look like them, and they were still unalived. So it kills the narrative that many Black people are pushing right now about Black women being safer with broke or low earning men, or safer with Black men, especially when you consider that Black women are unalived by their Black male partners and experience DV from them at higher rates than other groups. And since
Right. You don't want the man on Wall Street because he's going to bow you and he's going to hook you and he's going to powwow you, because they're all like that, right? You want a man that you can struggle with and build with and go in the dirt with and live in his basement, mama's basement. That's the man that's good for you. And that man will love you and take care of you. But the one that's well educated and can provide for you, come whisper.
I'll go wear the purple shirt since I didn't get the shirt over there. Okay.
So I'm gonna put that shirt on over the shirt. Okay. All right. That is what they tell us, because those men are going to do that when those men have so much to lose. Okay, not saying they do not DV their wives, because as we see here with Justin, you know, not only did he DV her, he took her out completely and himself. So those are lies we were told to stay broke and poor, and then we try and complain about the Black community. But if Black women do not begin to choose better men and hypergamous men, then we're still going to be having this conversation 40 years from now. Okay, and if we don't teach our children, teach our daughters and our son, I am preparing my son to be a provider. You marry that woman, you provide for her. If you can't provide for her, put roof over her head and food on her table, you don't need to get married. Until you're able to do that, you don't need to get married. But broke, poverty-minded Black people want you to think that, no, the high-earning man is not good for you, which is foolishness, right?
Since the rates are higher, that can't be women are unalived by their Black male partners and experience DV from them at higher rates than other groups. And since the rates are higher, that can't be explained by proximity alone. Because I hear people making the proximity argument, but that doesn't explain the higher numbers. And I recently heard a Black woman say that the numbers are only higher because white people underreport their femicide and DV. But the stats say that that is actually the case for Black women. A lot of Black women don't report DV because we're afraid to call the police. And we don't want to criminalize Black men and potentially get them unalived by law enforcement. And we also fear that we as Black women will be criminalized by the system as well. Most Black women know that we are the least protected under the system of white supremacy. So many of us don't even bother with reporting the abuse. Like I always discuss on my channel, most Black women are conditioned to mule and mammy for Black men. We tend to coddle and protect them. So that can
Hello, Ianya. Right, it's true. And let's not talk about Black Christian women. That's a conversation we need to have, right? Black Christian women don't leave let me just say most Black Christian women do not leave their Christian abusive husbands, much less to call the police. Can we have a conversation about that? Okay, so this says 97% of Black women survivors of abuse don't believe they'd be treated fairly by police or support services if they report their experiences. This is why I love Chrissy, honey, because she be coming with the research, because Cousin Jenae ain't got no time for no research, okay? But I love that Chrissy do the research. Go on.
Contributes to our cases being underreported. And Black people are also trying to push this narrative that white men aren't held accountable when they abuse or unalive Black women. But in most cases, they are. Maxwell Anderson, the white man who unalived Jenae Anderson, he got a life sentence for deleting her. And there are several other white men who are serving decades in prison for unaliving their Black woman partners. So most white men who commit these crimes are not getting away with it. Now, it has been reported that there are barriers that Black women face when it comes to getting our abusers prosecuted. So I'm not saying that they never get away with it, but most of the abusers that aren't getting prosecuted are Black men, because that is who Black women date and marry the most. So no matter how you slice.
Right. So the light, this big old stadium light that we are shining on Justin Fairfax and this Zaddy over here, we need to shine those lights on every Black woman who is unalived by their lover, not just when it's the high earning man or the master. Do y'all understand what Chrissy's saying?
I said black femicide is mostly an intra-racial issue, not an interracial one. And if you can't be honest about that as a black person, then you aren't serious about protecting black women. I don't care what you say. And I heard somebody say, oh, well, this Ashlee situation is why black women should stop bashing black men online. And that's why black women are unprotected. Telling the truth about black men online is not the reason they are unaliving us. That's not the reason they don't collectively protect us. Right. Black men were unaliving black women at higher rates before black women got online and said anything about them. Before the divestment movement was a thing and swirling was being encouraged and soft life and all the other stuff y'all are claiming is the reason why black women are getting unalived, femicide was already a thing. And so that logic is stupid and it does not make any sense. And again, it's dangerous to push that narrative. And honestly, I am just sick and disgusted by all the lies surrounding black femicide and how black people are using the death of Ashlee, this young black woman, to push their agendas and false narratives. It's sickening. And I don't typically cover black femicide. This really isn't my wheelhouse at all. But I just can't sit back and let y'all run with this misinformation without pushing back, because at the end of the day, I am a black woman. These women look like me. And somebody with a decent sized platform has to come on here and tell the truth about this, because this is ridiculous. And for those saying that I'm only talking about this to single out black men or to protect white men, as a rule, I don't cover any femicide stories, regardless of who the unaliver is, unless the story relates to other topics that I discuss on my channel, topics like colorism, hypogamy, etc. I do have a handful of black femicide stories that I've made in the past, but there's a lot of stories that I've seen over the years that I never talked about. So if I wanted to come on here every day and use those stories to shit on black men and to protect white men, I would have done it a long time ago. And honestly, I would have a video every single day, because that's how often intraracial femicide happens. But because that's not what my channel is about, that's not typically my subject matter. But when I do talk about it, I'm consistent, unlike most of you. The main reason I'm talking about it now is because black people are all over the internet lying about Ashlee Jenae, and y'all are being flat out dishonest about black femicide as a whole. And you're not being consistent, and I feel that it's extremely dangerous for black women. So it's necessary to talk about in this moment. So before I close out, I want to highlight some of the recent femicide stories that did not go as viral as the Ashlee Jenae case. And there are many more cases than the ones I've been showing and that I'll be mentioning, but these are a few that I saw on my timeline recently. So first we have Ashlee Allen. This was a 23-year-old pregnant black woman who was unalived by her baby daddy. So he deleted her and his unborn child. And
I didn't even hear about this one. So can we have a conversation about this one? How come this one didn't blow up on the internet like the Ashlee Jenae one did? I didn't even hear about this one. Okay, 23 years old. Lord Jesus.
Assuming it's because he did not want the baby. And we just saw this with black female rapper Sadiddy as well. She was 14 weeks pregnant and allegedly unalived by the father of her unborn child. So these are both femicide and feticide incidents.
So black women, this goes back to what I talk about on my channel, is please stop giving access to these men who have not signed up to be your husband. Stop spreading your legs to men who didn't sign up to be your husband. Okay, now I know a dum-dum is going to say, Dr. Serena married her husband and he unalived her. If you say that in the comment, you're missing the whole thought of this video. So here are two women who were unalived by their baby daddies because the baby daddies didn't want them to have the baby. Huh? How come we not really talk about this? I didn't even do a video on this girl. I just had so much. There were so many other black women being unalived by black men that I didn't even have time to do this lady's story.
And both of their partners are black men. And I've seen none of the people who reported on Ashlee say anything about these two women. And these are very recent stories. And I can guarantee that if and when black men talk about these stories, they will use these cases to victimize the men. And they'll talk about how men should have a choice in whether or not a baby is born and or aborted, and complain about women having the final say. And they'll try to use that to justify why the men unalived their baby mamas. But notice, they never hold the black male responsible for not using protection.
So they're not going to protect us. I just want black women, all women, because I have all women on my channel and I mentor all women. I even mentored a girl from one of the Muslim countries over there. I forgot where she's from. We have to stop, ladies who are dating for marriage, we have to stop thinking that these men are going to protect us. The only man that is responsible to protect us are our dads, maybe our brothers, and our husbands. Those are the only men. Anybody else is not going to protect us. So I want us to stop thinking that these men we're dating are going to protect us. The only man that signed up to protect you is your husband. So stop giving them access to your womb to plant a seed in your womb. And then when you make a decision what to do with that seed, they're going to powwow you because they don't like the decision you're making with their seed.
And getting these women pregnant in the first place. These men are adults. They know how babies are made. So if they don't want or can't afford a child, the easiest way to prevent that is to not have unprotected sex. But instead of doing that, they take the cowardly way out and they unalive their baby mamas and their unborn children. The next femicide story is the one I highlighted on my community tab post. And this is the unaliving of Dr. Serena Fairfax. And I don't believe she was a Black woman. I believe she's a mixed race dentist, but she was recently deleted by her Black husband, who was the former lieutenant governor of Virginia. Apparently, Dr. Serena filed for divorce.
I was questioning her ethnicity also. I think she's high yellow. She looks like one of those really high yellow Black women. But anyways, she looked like us. She's a Black woman, okay?
So he unalived her and then he deleted himself. And according to the reports I read, he did it in front of their children and the teenage son had to call the police. So instead of just deleting himself alone and away from the home and just taking himself out of his misery away from his family, he selfishly took his wife with him and unalived her and himself in front of their children, traumatizing them for life and leaving them without either of their parents. And I've read that he's had some DV allegations made against him in the past as well. So this is clearly something Dr. Serena had been dealing with for a while, and she finally filed for divorce. And there was also another woman, a Black woman in Texas by the name of Denise Friday, who was unalived by her husband. And this was also after she filed for divorce. And based on the report I read, he also did this in front of their children. So ladies, at this point, I do not recommend breaking up or filing for divorce from your partner face to face, especially if he's already shown you that he's violent or abusive. If you still...
Yes, I totally agree with that. If he's already shown you that he's abusive and he's violent, because remember what my daddy said, the next time he hit you, he might unalive you. You know, so the first time, don't stick around, don't wait around, it's gonna work out. I didn't even do a video on this one. I don't think I heard about this one. She looks familiar. Maybe passing it on Facebook.
Live with him or have to see him every day, try to find a way to get out silently. Don't let him know where you're going and then file for divorce and do what you have to do. I'm not saying that will always work, but I still think that's the best course of action because a lot of these men cannot handle.
So that means, ladies, hello, we need escape money. We need escape money. I have an escape money. I have an escape fund. My godmother gave me my seed for my escape fund when I got married. You need an escape money. I don't care how much he loves you. I don't care how much you love him. I don't care how much he's saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. I don't care how he would never do anything like that. You do not know that. You don't know that. Have your escape money so if anything pop up, you can grab your kids and run. Like you need to have another emergency fund where you could grab your kids and run if he becomes violent with you. Okay? You need escape money.
Handle boundaries and they cannot take rejection. And see, these are the kind of stories where Black men will blame the woman because the man is Black. Or they'll say things like, oh, well, she had to do something to deserve it. What was she doing to him? She must have been provoking him. This is why you don't push a man to his limits, or she probably abused him. I mean, they'll say anything just to take the blame off of the man when he's Black. And listen, I'm not saying there aren't abusive women, there aren't toxic women in relationships out there. Definitely are. I've seen it. But I do know that when a Black man unalives his spouse or his baby mama or his girlfriend, there's a million excuses given to him. But when a white man does it, he's just abusive. He's just an abusive man, period. And that's it. There's no excuses that are made for him. And Black women are told that all white men are abusive and therefore we should stay away from them. Okay, so if that's the case, then Black men...
Right. Just like I was told, all highly educated scholars, well-educated, well-spoken, well-mannered gentlemen, corporate men, white-collar men, work on Wall Street, work in the boardroom, they're going to beat you and they're going to unalive you and they all cheat and they're all going to abuse you and your children. That's what I was told by Black people. I was told that because they could not perceive me, a Black woman who had a baby at 16 marrying a man like my husband. I mean, I had a church that I spent over 10 years teaching Bible studies, teaching Sunday school, showing up every Sunday morning when nobody else showed up. I was there. I had a whole church that I gave out 25, 30 invitations to, and nobody came to my wedding. None of them came to my wedding because I would not marry the broke, dusty males in that church. None of them. Out of 30 invitations, not one came to my wedding because they could not perceive who you married, where he came from, where you found him at. Because in their mind, all successful, well-educated Black men are abusive, and they're going to abuse you and misuse you and rip your kids and do all that. That's what I was told. But the Pookie and the Ray Ray at the church, living in the mama base, say, oh, he'll love you. He's so safe. Papa will go. Oh, you need to struggle with him, girl. He will love you, girl. He'll take care of you, girl. He'll provide for you, girl. Girl, yes, you're supposed to build with him and build him up and struggle with him, girl. That's what I was told.
Don't give any excuses either. We're not giving any special nuance or context for Black men, because when Black women do something wrong, we don't get nuance. We don't get context. We're just fucked up, especially when Black mothers unalive their children, or they do something to their children, or they unalive their boyfriends or their baby daddies or their husbands. There's typically no nuance or context given to Black women who do that. So we're going to keep the same energy. So another recent femicide victim is Michelle Russell, who was unalived by her husband, who then unalived her parents, and then he deleted himself. So this man unalived her mama and her daddy too. But again, I'm sure a Black man somewhere made this her fault somehow. And another recent femicide victim is Barbara Deere, who was the widow of Cook.
I don't think I heard about that one. Man, unalived mother of his 3 kids. Her pair, I think I did. In New Jersey home. No, but this is another one I didn't hear about. Oh my, yes, I did. Jamaican family unalive in U.S. Yes, I did hear about this one. I did hear about that one. Did y'all hear about that one? Yes, I did hear.
County Commissioner Dennis Deere, and she was actually unalived by her son before he deleted himself. And I'm sure the argument for that will be, oh, well, Black women are bad mothers, and she was probably abusing her son, and that's why he unalived her. But let a white boy unalive his mama, and he's the evil white man. You see the difference? So another recent femicide victim is Esther Toussaint, and she was a Black woman nurse who was unalived by her husband before he deleted himself. So again, another coward who couldn't just unalive himself because he was unhappy, but had to take his wife with him. And I guarantee Black men will find a way to blame his wife for that as well. Oh, she must have been doing something to make that man unhappy, etc., etc. You know how it goes. And some other femicide cases that I saw getting a bit more coverage are the unalivings of Pastor Tammy McCollum, who was deleted by her husband, Eddie McCollum. Then, of course, there was Vice Mayor Nancy Mateer, who was unalived by her husband, Stephen Bowen. And I talked about that in my recent live stream. So make sure you check it out if you haven't already. And also the Black male singer David, who just got arrested for unaliving or allegedly unaliving a teenage girl by the name of Celeste Hernandez. And this happened last year. I don't know what took them so long to arrest him, but they finally did. And this was a pretty big story. Yeah, I hardly saw any Black people talking about it, and certainly not all these Black men and celebrities who talked about Ashlee Jenae. And this man was still doing shows and everything, and just now got arrested. But y'all want to talk about how Black men are held more accountable for femicide than white men. It took them months to arrest David, and that little girl was found in his Tesla September of last year. I remember seeing this story on the news, and I was like, wait, he's still touring? He's still doing shows? What is going on? But yeah, I didn't really see the Black community really go in on him or pick the story apart like they did with Ashlee Robinson, aka Ashlee Jenae, and Joe McCann. So yeah, y'all need to cut out the bullshit and stop pretending to care about Black femicide, because I have not seen none of y'all care about it, not on these Black media sites, on your YouTube channels, on TikTok, Facebook, or anywhere else. It's obvious that your outrage is fake, and you only give a damn when the crime is committed by white men, and that is not genuine concern. And I'm going to keep reiterating this point on my channel.
White men and high-earning white men and high-earning Black men. Okay, middle up of the educated Black, the white-collar guy, you know, the well-educated, he was educated at Columbia, and you know, he's a doctor, a lawyer. That's yeah, yeah. Krista, go ahead, tell the truth, girl. Oh, I just love her.
Every time I see it happen, I'm always going to come on here and bring this to Black women's attention, because we need to be aware of the hypocrisy and the double standard. And I don't care who doesn't like it, because the way y'all are on here playing about something as serious as femicide is disgusting. But you know, I expect no less from Blackistan, and that's why I will continue to encourage Black women to get out, because you are not safe here, and they don't care about your well-being. So ladies, take note of everything I just said and move accordingly. And I'm going to say it again: vet all men regardless of race. And listen, if you can't find a good one, just be single. It's not a crime to be single, because these men are not okay. They're losing their minds, and they've always been doing this, but I think it's getting worse because a lot of the red pill rhetoric and the manosphere online, and of course the current administration has a lot to do with it as well. A lot of women are withholding, we're dating less, we're delaying marriage. A lot of us are refusing to have kids. A lot of women are decentering men as well. So it's causing a lot of men to crash out more than they have before. I recently read about a group that men have online called the RAPE Academy. I think that's what it's called. And men are in that group giving other men tips on how to violate women, whether it be strangers or their own partners, their own girlfriends and wives. And the fact that
Jesus Christ, how to rape a woman. It's demonic. They're demonic. They're evil.
the identity of those men has not been shared with the public really says it all. So it's really a dangerous time for women right now. And I don't blame the women who say they are not willing to risk getting involved with men, or at the very least wanting to decenter them. Not saying there aren't any good guys out there, but ladies, you need to stay on high alert. And if you do choose to date men, vet them. A lot of y'all swear up and down it's not possible, but it 100% is.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to go through that, being single is an option as well. It's not the end of the world if you're single. And also make sure you guys educate yourselves on your firearm laws in your state. Carry a firearm or some other sort of protection, because you don't necessarily have to be involved with these men for them to attack you or try to unalive you. And I'm definitely not trying to fearmonger or say that, you know, this is going to happen to you, because I meet nice guys all the time in public. I'm dating a couple of nice guys. So, you know, I'm not trying to demonize all men, but I think it's very important for women to be aware of the bad ones. And there's a lot of bad ones out there as well. So please, ladies, stay safe. If you have any safety tips, be sure to share them in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about this topic. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch up with you in the next video.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you. I'm going to donate to her. I love Chrissy. I just absolutely love her. I would love to meet her, hang out, you know, stuff like that. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about this. I think she basically really covered it, and I improved. And I've shared this before, how the Black church and Black people try to demonize successful, well-educated Black men because they're not good. They're going to abuse you, and they're going to cheat, and they're going to, God forbid, and do all of these things. So I am proof. I am a witness that I witnessed, and I've shared with you. So this is not new to you guys, that I was, they're not good for you. So comment below. Let me know what you think about this. I absolutely love you. I adore you. Go over to Chrissy. Watch, if you want to watch the video at a slower pace without interruptions. Go ahead and go over there. I just jump in ever so often to avoid any copyright issues. Okay. I absolutely love you. I adore you. Let me know what you think about this topic. Come on back. See what else I have for you for today. Love you. Bye. Oh, thank you for those of you showing me love and support my book, 23 Types of Guys You Might Meet. This book you can use on any man, honey, any man. 23 types of guys you might meet. Notice it didn't say 23 types of Black men you might meet. Men in general. You will use this book on any man. Black, white, Saudi Arabia. I remember the girl was from Saudi Arabia. Okay. She's living in the United States, but that's where she's from. Okay. And so I mentor all, and she's Muslim, all women from all. I've done Indian women. I've done girls from the UK. Like when I look at my book sales, China, your cousin is in China, girl. The girls in China is buying my book. Okay. Japan, the girls in Japan is buying my book. Cousins. We have cousins in China, Japan, the UK, Saudi Arabia, all of India, okay? Your cousins is worldwide. Cousin Janice is worldwide. Hashtag worldwide. Okay, let's see who watches to the end of the video. Hashtag worldwide. And then tell me something I say at the bottom so people is not like hashtag worldwide. And, because people be copying you. So hashtag worldwide. And then tell me something else I said at the end of the video. Like, tell me where are people buying my books from? I just told you. India, Japan, China, UK, Canada, of course, is our neighbor. The Philippines. Wait, Australia, down under. I'm going to check my report. I'm going to check my report, girl. I was like, Japan. Okay, Japan. Because the Janice is in Japan. Because the Janice is in China. I love you. I love you. So hashtag worldwide, and then give me a complete sentence about where the girls are buying my books from. Okay. I love you. I love this way we know who watched to the end of the video. I love you. I love you. Let me know what you think about what Chris said. Come on back, and let's talk about something else. I don't know. We'll see. Love you. Bye.